started, I belong to a group that was formed for mobile apps. We developed for Android and for iOS. I learned, well, my background, COBOL, and that's how I started. And then I went to VB.NET. I did a little bit of Java, and then I went into .NET heavily. So I developed web applications for the web. And then the mobile group started to form. So we're developing with HTML5, CSS, and also native applications. So I do iOS, and I have another coworker that does Android. The ITD, Information Technology Department, is known on the county for new developments, new technologies. So we're always looking for new technologies. So I have 3 apps on the App Store for the county with iOS, property app, voter profile for voter meetup, and distribute copy. And now the glass came about. So our director went to Google to a presentation, and they showed interest in doing something for the voters or for the sheriff department. And then we became an explorer. So today you can only get a glass if you're in the explorer program. It's just for developers. So with that, I'm going to just follow. This is a document that I put together. It's a pieces of the document that I put together internally for the county. And what's GLASS? GLASS is a wearable Android-powered computer. So it's an Android computer, optical head-mounted display. So this is the display. The computer is in here. It has several sensors around it, and we'll get to that. So my purpose here is to give you some idea of what it is and what's being used for and what the potential is. Claudia, you're going to make this presentation available in PDF, so if you want, there are several links. And
I'll put in the CNIT website, and then I will provide the information in the CNIT website, and you guys are going to know when it's available out there. I'll put the whole presentation there, because there are a whole bunch of interesting links to videos, articles.
For the sake of the interesting part, which is trying out, I think I'm going to go through, and you have a lot of information. I'm not going to read everything. It's just, let's move on. So this is GLASS, right? So we have a display here, it's a crystal display. We have a pad, it's like the mouse pad. So the GLASS you can control by voice commands and by tapping or swiping on this mouse pad. And they have sensors, so your eyes, your movement in front of the display, everything you capture. And I'll show you in some way. And it has a speaker also. This, keep in mind, this is in development, so that's maybe the 2nd generation. They had this one, you can get it for prescription glasses. Right now, this is not. It has just a shade here that you can put in here, but you can order for prescription. This project, well, technical specs. Let's go through. Adjustable nose pad. The idea is you're going to put it on. You adjust this so it is on top of your nose, and you're going to see the display in front of you, not in front of the view. The objective is not to be intrusive, so you can still do your normal activity, and then if you have, let's say, a tax that comes in, you have to look up to see. It's about 8 feet from here, so there. And if you wear a prescription, then it's going to be blurred, so you need to have a prescription. On my case, I need reading glasses, and it doesn't affect. I can see clearly. High resolution display. This is technical specs for Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. 12 gigabytes. So And the first generation, we had an API to develop for, so we would call the API, and then the API, Apple would send it to the glass, whatever, so the calls are. Now we have a GDK that you can develop for glass, so you can install in glass and run without any connectivity. So you can connect to the internet, you can connect to your phone via Wi-Fi, and I'll demo how to do that. And you can run things directly here without being connected. A bunch of history. Started 2010, and then they had the first phase. They had about 2,000 explorers just testing, and now in 2013, just and again, you can look at YouTube videos, samples, and everything. Then 2013, they expanded the Explorer, and now they have, I think, 15,000 explorers using it. You can apply, and the cost is $1,500 to get a glass, but you need to be approved to go into the Explorer program. So you apply, you say what you're doing, you're coming from, why you want glass, and they approve or not. So usually, if you have referred by someone that's already an Explorer, it's easier. Yeah, it's all rumors. We don't know. Google won't say when it's going to go to public, but we expect by the end of the year we'll have to sell it. And the rumor is it's going to be around $500, $600 cost. For developer, this is Android development. So if you're on Android development, you can use the SDK, it's the same thing. There is a GDK that it's like an add-on to your SDK. So you see that development for glass, the paradigm is different, right? You won't have a small screen that you can do the same thing as a web page or like an app in a phone. So the paradigm is like they have cards, which you flip through cards, so you can have a limited number of words or sentences that you can have. And on the demo, we show that. And Eclipse is what we use to develop Android applications. By the way, I haven't started yet, so I don't know a lot about development. But if I could learn Objective-C for iOS, I'm sure I can learn for Objective-C is pretty hard. Okay. Well, you need to have Google Plus. So you need to be signed up to Google Plus because everything is stored in the cloud. So when you take a picture, you need to have a Google Plus account in order to use Glass. It stores everything.
Which you guys have via City College CCSF Gmail account, okay?
Yeah, okay, here is, I did some research what people are trying to do, and we had some samples and some videos to if you want to look later.
More.
Stuff.
A lot of apps have been already in development for this.
Yeah. And once we get to the demo, I'll show you what the apps are already on the store, and you can see through the apps. Competition. This is not the only wearable device, head-mounted wearable device that we have nowadays. We have several of them. And some of them are more like goggles that wear here. And there are some that are already in the market, some are developing, but nobody talks about it. I can't find anybody that has one of those. And the difference here, I think, most of them show a screen in the middle, in front of you. It's more like using something just for that. Here, Google is going to, you can use as a watch. They just use normally. And then when you need, you ask the glass and you get information. That's some of the samples. Okay, interface and gestures. Okay, like I said, You can have voice commands, you can have gestures, type, you swipe forward to move to everything. Let's say I take a picture, you go to a timeline. And a timeline is a series of cards that show the history of your card. So if you go to, it's like you're scrolling, you're doing this. If you swipe down, it turns off or it goes back to the previous screen. So I think that
Yeah.
that's enough. So that's
That's not, yeah, demo, and then we put the glass, he's gonna put the glass to mirror, whatever he sees in the glass, he's gonna mirror in the phone. So then you guys can see what he's seeing, okay, and how he's interacting with the glass. So let me take this out.
okay. Okay, so I turn on glass, and glass takes a while to, like 45 seconds to turn on. It's like a computer starting up. There is an app called My Glass that you have to install in Android, iOS. There's an app for each of the Windows phone that you install. And there's a screencast, which will cast. What I'm seeing on the screen is what you're seeing there. Okay, so that's the main screen of glass. It shows a clock in the OK glass. So when you say OK glass, it shows a menu, and you see what. Oops. Okay, so this is a text, and I don't want to send a message. Okay, see my head up and down? I'm looking up on the menu and down on the menu. So now I am taking you guys. So we've okay, so this is a movie. If I say OK glass, it goes to the menu again. I don't want to show that. If I tap, it goes to the menu, but as a card. So if I swipe to the, then it shows all the menu options there. Listen to music, play game, video call, message, interaction, record video, take a picture. So I'm going to take a picture again. Take a picture. OK glass, Google, City College of San Francisco. Okay, so we went there, Google for City College, and it brings a lot of information here. So if I swipe through, it's like I'm scrolling through pages.
But you see that this is not the website, right, of City College?
No,
Yeah.
Google did a search
Yeah.
and brought some information back. If I tap on it, I can call City College, I can get directions. If I get directions, then it brings me the map with the directions. Yes.
You can actually just talk, just like you talk on the phone through the glass. That's all.
Talk
Just
through the
talk like
glass.
you making a call.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just talk to us. You hear
You
me.
can do the call here.
Yeah, in like a text, like I had in here. Okay, so like I said, this is the main screen. The timeline is whatever it shows. If I go quick.
And it's
oh,
your
it will show
timeline.
you. No, it's a
yeah.
timeline of the glass.
Yeah,
So anything that was
yeah,
done.
that's what I'm saying, the user's timeline.
It's not showing there because it goes too fast for this. But this is anything that I've done or whoever used it have done. Okay. Oh, I want to show one more thing here. So if I swipe down, you go off, right? And you can tap to wake up, or I can do 30 degrees and it goes up again. Tap. Okay, so let's go to the settings. Settings, if I tap, every time there's a card with the bookmark on the corner here, it's because it has something underneath it. So this is Wi-Fi connection. It's connected to my phone. Gives the space available. This is the head wake up, so you can turn on and off. But it's a good feature because it's annoying every time it goes off, like 5-10 seconds. You don't interact with it, it goes off. So the fact that you do this and it comes on, it helps. On-head detection is when you put your glass on, it understands that it needs to come on. Screen, you can lock your screen. Wink is I have it off now because it says like experimental. And it works fine. So if I train to, when I wink, it takes a picture right away, so you don't need to do a voice command. So if I do this calibrate, it will bring me a movie saying how I need to do it. And for some reason I can't wink with just one eye. Yeah, success. So now it's calibrated.
Oh.
At any time I do this, it will take a picture. So this is a cool feature. It's experimental because the sensor, sometimes you're just blinking and it takes a picture. It's not exactly. So, okay, glass. I'm going to show another cool thing. Is we play a game with tennis. So this is a game you can hear, but there's a song playing in my head. The serve of this game is your here. It's all your head detection.
So this came with the glass, or?
Well, this is an app that was developed by Google. It's on the. Yeah, I mean, see? I need to hit the ball. So if you do this, then you hit the ball. I'm going to describe to you.
Oh, man.
So this is a really simple game, but and these games, I think they released 2 weeks ago or something. Shape splitter, that shows another sensor starting the game. This
Oh,
0
no.
points because it was a bomb. I wasn't supposed to do anything. But you, like this. See? Now. Come on.
100 points you have already.
Yeah. show another one. Okay, glass. Play game. Balance. Okay, balance is a play game. It's level 15, so I tried
Wow, wow. That's interesting.
You get an exercise looking down.
You see, I'm in level 15 because I can't pass that level. But it's all. You got the picture. It's a sensor of how. Let's do one more. Okay, glass. Play game. Clay shooter. Go. I don't know what the name is. I think shoot.
Mm.
You gotta aim and then shoot. I'm not good at this. Okay, what else I want to show? Okay, glass. Google. What is Starbucks? That tells you what ingredient on it. And he also, it reads out loud. So let's try a text. Send me a text. So if I receive a phone call, I can answer in glass. And if it's a video call, we can see in glass too. For text, we just show a text. Oh, see? Pasting message. That's what she just sent to me. And from here, you can tap, and you can either reply, attached, okay, and then it sends the text. So you can be walking, receive a text, and from the text you can receive a text, and then you can reply just voice command. So.
There you go, that's the message. Just arrived.
Yeah, I want to say, did you see the message saying here that it needs to cool down?
Yeah.
So if you stay, that's one problem. This is not ready for market yet because it heats up and soon enough it's not going to work. It's going to have to wait until it cools down to get it. So I'm going to let it cool down a little bit. And so, like I said, there's a microphone in here. This piece here, it's a speaker, not a microphone, a speaker that goes against your bone. And then it's impressive how you can hear clearly here if you're here. On the street, with the car, noise and everything, it didn't work. So on the second version, that's the second generation, now they have plug-in that you can put here and then put more here. So everything works. Let's show the this.
Looks a little bit better.
Yeah, it still looks like a drawing or something. Anyway, questions? Yes.
I noticed when you were swiping through the menu, it said video call. How does that work?
You need to have an app. Right now, I don't have it, and I couldn't figure out how to make a video call for you, but Android and even Apple, they have their video conferencing, right? I'm guessing that's how it goes through, but I haven't been able to make it work yet. But video and picture, it's possible.
Because a possibility is to use later on things like Skype. That's what I believe that they are also being ready to do, but not necessarily it is, not necessarily this is going to happen. It will depend, because probably they will have to adjust some of the Skype features to be able to use with the glass.
Trying to get on GPS too. And the other thing you can do here is delete, which probably capture action. Deletes from glass and deletes from cloud. Okay? Yeah.
Is the finger the main input method, or can you navigate the UI context without using your finger so much? Are you able to say, like, no, I don't want that card to go back, or are there other ways to control it?
No, not right now. So it's up to you, to us, to develop something that's purely voice command. And one of the applications that the county wants is for accessibility for voting. So if you are disabled and you can use your hands, but you can speak, you can see, and so that's our proof of concept. Will be having something based on menus. It's like the OK Glass, and then you see Google, and then everything is voice command. But right now, a lot of the functionality you have to scroll, so you cannot say go forward on the base of. But if you develop your own app, you can do everything voice command.
Does it recognize any gestures, like shaking your head yes and no, or anything like that? Or is it only the eyes?
There is a sensor that recognizes, like the game I just did with this, so recognize some gestures. It has several sensors on it. I haven't played with them, so I don't know how far you can go, but the potential is enormous. Any other questions?
Like in some game,
No, not really. And if you're wearing your shades, then it's perfect. If not, you still can see, but because of the light, it's not as clear. But with the shade, it looks perfect.
And what about if you wear glasses, do they fit over? Or how does that
No, right now they have a prescription, so you have to order it
okay.
separate. Then it comes the glass, and they have 3 or 4 different styles of glass that you can order. But the glass, yeah, it is like this. So it comes like this already with a prescription. But it's nothing that you can buy separate and just plug in. You have to order from them. My guess is, and they didn't have prescription before, so that second generation now they have. You can order it, but it's more expensive. So I think it will develop a lot before it goes to public to sell it.
What is the weight of the glass?
It's
How many ounces?
yeah, I don't know. It's on the
It's
specs.
3.8 ounce. It's in the
3.8?
specs.
Yeah, and if you hold it like this on the side, of course, it's a little heavy, but it's amazing when you put it on, you don't
It's,
feel.
yeah, it's
It-
lighter
it's
than
really
the
light.
average
It's
sunglasses.
really light.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is it waterproof?
Nope, it's not waterproof. I
I'm
haven't
just saying
tried,
because of
and I
rain,
won't
you know,
try.
you just haven't been.
No, there's nowhere that says that it's water resistant or anything, so I wouldn't try.
Does it use battery or is it rechargeable?
It's rechargeable, yes.
Rechargeable.
So, and that's the other issue. I think the battery goes really fast. So let's look what the battery is right
There was one-
77, that's not 77%, but it was full before the.
According to the specs, it says that it lasts 1 day.
It doesn't.
Normal
Yeah,
use,
if you
but
turn
I
it
don't
off,
believe.
it will last 1 day. Yeah, then
So if you just
if
use
you're
it
using it, it goes really fast. You
Wow.
can, Yes.
Does this version track eye movements? And can
Yes.
you show any examples of that?
It tracks eye movement, but the only application I have is the wink to take a picture. So when you do this, it recognizes. So you have to calibrate. So, but it does have a sensor here that tracks. But I haven't played with it. I don't know how far you can go.
That feature, that wink feature, because I know you're constantly winking all the time. So,
Yeah.
that's something we turn off and on. It's not nothing that stays on.
It can stay on, and I think eventually you will, if, and that's my thinking, is if I'm winking like this, so if the interval is big enough that you're not gonna do normally, then it can be on, right? So when you force your wink, then you understand. But the sensor is not that refined yet, so sometimes when I put it on, and I usually leave it on, but when I'm showing here, sometimes it will take a picture without me asking for it.
Even if you didn't, let's say for instance, you have one, and you have to get to the part where it says take picture, you have to say it verbally, just take picture, and then.
Yeah, you have a feature of wink on or off. If you put on, then
It's constantly taking.
yeah, you calibrate, and whenever you say, like, if you do this, just rest in your eyes or something, and
Snap.
yeah, it will snap a picture. So otherwise, you can take a picture, and yeah, I didn't mention that. So there's a metal button here on top of it. This is the camera. So you can take a picture by pressing this, and if you press and hold, you take a video, or you can voice command, ask for a
Can you,
picture.
oh, you can ask for the video.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, so if you guys want to try,
Yeah.
just come on in. You're gonna have a picture.
Wow. Okay, guys. Get directions.